prior to joining the Council of Swinburne, I had been, as I said, on many corporate boards, not-for-profit boards. And to me, being on the university council, though, is different, because a university is an institution with a higher calling, in my view, right? A company has a very clear mission. It produces a service or a product, makes a profit, and is totally accountable to shareholders. It's narrow. It's a very narrow mission. A university has a much wider mission. It is accountable to the public, and it serves the public. It has a societal responsibility. And so I find it rewarding to be part of an institution that actually serves the public, the community, and has such a key role in developing future generations of workers and leaders. It's I guess to me, it actually also broadens my mind, rather than just focusing on the very narrow aspects of just one very clear mission, make a profit for shareholders, and that's it. Now I have to be more concerned about issues of equity, issues of fairness. I'm contributing to an institution that serves the public.
Can you give us some examples how councils draw the lines between their role in strategy, quality and risk management and the role of the university management team?
Mm-hmm. Well, firstly, I think it's important to understand the meaning of governance versus management. So governance is about high-level oversight. It's about setting the strategic direction, establishing the policy and accountability framework. Management is about implementing and executing the strategy on a day-to-day basis. So examples, I guess, would be, okay, we have set the strategy for Swinburne in terms of we want to be a university that focuses on technology. We want to have X number of partnerships, commercial partnerships. We want to focus on various countries where we draw our students. That's the strategy. That's where we stop. Management then implements those. So on a day-to-day basis, we actually are not going to say, okay, what courses are you going to develop? How many trips have you made overseas in order to implement the international strategy? So that's an example. Council is responsible for the financial oversight of the university in terms of managing the university's assets. However, that doesn't mean, so we set and approve the budget, but it doesn't mean then that we actually look at the day-to-day approval of certain expenses, and we don't constantly monitor the expenses of the university. That again is the role of the Vice Chancellor and the executive team. The Academic Senate is very, very important in an independent university. Okay, academic independence is what makes our university system. The Academic Senate is accountable to Council. Council is responsible for ensuring that the Academic Senate performs its roles in terms of whatever the standards set by the government are, that it has democratic process in terms of allowing all academic members to have an input into the actual development of courses and everything. So council sets that overall very high level framework, but it is not involved in the actual development of courses. It doesn't meddle into the day-to-day discussions among academics on how teaching should be done within the university.
In the Australian media, there's been some public controversies where the Vice-Chancellor has been accused of poor behaviour. And that would be a case, wouldn't it, where the council has a role to step in?
Any issue, controversial issues, will be immediately dealt at council level. So as soon as the Chancellor or the Vice-Chancellor becomes aware there is any issues of controversy, it is the responsibility of the chair to convene. Now, it might be part of the normal meeting schedule, or if it's not that important, but if it is a very important issue, as perhaps the example that you have just quoted, then immediately council would be involved. The sudden resignation of a key executive, okay, and particularly in cases where it is not, it is unexpected. And so in that case, then it is a matter again of making sure that we have the appropriate response. Council in that case would convene to discuss the immediate action plan, and obviously the immediate action plan would be, do we put in someone as acting in that capacity, and then having determining a process whereby we would then go out and seek a replacement depending on the seniority, depending on the where that particular position is. We then have to decide on whether we are going to go for internal recruitment or external recruitment, who we are going to select as a recruiting agency. So we go through all of that process. It can be challenging in the sense that if it is unexpected, then we would be questioning ourselves as to, perhaps why was it not anticipated? Obviously, there'll be questions of the Vice-Chancellor as to whether there were any internal conflict or not. And so we have to attempt to understand the situation and then try and deal with it in terms of making a decision on what the next step is going to be.